Channel 4 News with 5-time Emmy Award-winning anchor Ron Burgundy. Champ Kind Sports. Rick Tamlin Weather. And your reporter in the field, Brian Fantana. It's Channel 4 News at 6 o'clock.
Hello everybody, this is Michael Calavetta and I am replacing Champ Kind while he's on his 6-month vacation across seas, and this is your weekly sports update. This Sunday we had our fantasy football draft. In round 1 we had 4 running backs that went. There was McCoy, Peterson, Forte, and Charles, who went to the Vultures, Wild Goats, Squishalaw, and Wild Turkeys, but for some reason Manziel was left waiting and not drafted in the first round. Pick 5. There was our first wide receiver drafted, which was Calvin Johnson, who went to the Rubber Duckies. In pick 6 was the first draft pick for QB, which was Peyton Manning, who went to I Heart Fupa, but for some reason Manziel's still waiting. In pick 9, we had our first tight end, Jimmy Graham, who went to the Squirrel Monkeys. In round 1, overall, we had 6 running backs drafted, 3 wide receivers, 1 tight end, and 2 QBs. But no Johnny Manziel. Then in round 15, the champ drafted good old Johnny Football, Mr. Johnny Manziel. Yes, folks, he was drafted and taken from us. He is no longer in free agency or waivers.
The Philadelphia Eagles have traded the 22nd pick to the Cleveland Browns. With the 22nd pick in the 2014 NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns select Johnny Manziel, quarterback, Texas A&M. This will really get the crowd base excited in Strongville. Well, let's go to Morton Adam on the trade that we were waiting for all night, fellas. Gomer, I sat across from Browns owner Jimmy Haslam at dinner at the Indianapolis Scouting Combine, and he told me that looked me in the eye and said, Johnny Manziel's the most exciting football player he's ever seen. Now we heard that from David Cutler, too. As John Wooden has said, energizing the fan base. Well, we're hearing it right here in the music hall. Right? He does have the hand size to play in the cold weather, especially when you play in Cleveland in that weather. And yes, they like Brian Hoyer, so they can work him in there.
And this really is a Jimmy Haslam pick because Jimmy Haslam, the Browns owner, was his biggest champion. And if you don't think things are turning on in Cleveland, check out this. They have double 3rd-round picks, double 4th-round picks. They have cash, and they have 2 number 1s next year as well to go along with Johnny Football and Justin Gilbert. So Cleveland went through a brutal offseason, but in the end, boom, it comes out on top. Susie.
But if you're looking for another great QB, go look for Tim Tebow because he is still available. It is a fact now that Tim Tebow is actually on more teams than Chad Henne, who is a starter in the NFL.
All those things, but you also have to say, all right, where did he come from? You know, and it was a big loop before, so it's definitely much tighter than what it was.
3rd and 16, and Tebow buying time, but the secondary is doing its work, and Finn still on the move. Well, that's what Tebow can do for you at his best. Turns a 3rd and 16 and a would-be sack, and certainly it's going to be 4th and long. Wayne Hunter actually threw a really nice block along the way, and he gains 20.
You know, but this is what the guy does, and he does it to everybody, and it seems like he waits until the 4th quarter to do it. You know, he has beaten so many teams in the 4th quarter ball games with crazy plays. He beat the Jets last year by getting outside and running in for a touchdown after their offense had done nothing. And
3rd and 17. They have to get to the 36-yard line to convert. Well, will he work some magic again? Oh, no, not this time. To the 35-yard line where it is picked off, and then taken down hard is Reggie Smith. Looked like Debo had some room to run, but he thought he saw an open man.
he did.
It was a mirage.
He had an open man. This is just a bad throw. He just line drived it for an interception.
And Carolina takes over, up by 5.
We also had our first trade that happened this Sunday. Surprisingly, Rubber Duckies wanted to trade with Vultures. The trade was RG3 and Toby Gerhart for Andrew Luck and Ray Rice. Vultures declined the trade with a laugh, and according to the Duckies management, he said this trade was a joke. What do you guys think? We also had our first waiver that happened. The waiver was between the management of the Wild Turkeys. They dropped Colts defense and picked up Eagles defense. Why do you ask? The season hasn't started yet. Well, after talking to the front office and the coach, they decided to put the Colts defense versus Broncos defense was not a very good idea. So they felt the Eagles versus Jacksonville would be a lot better matchup for them. We also start our schedule on Thursday. We have Wild Turkeys versus the Vultures. We have the Champ versus the HKC. Rubber Duckies versus Wild Goats. Squishalon versus Steal Your Money. Tech Sergeant versus Fupa. And Squirrel Monkeys versus Offin Church. The first game starts Thursday. Seahawks versus Packers. So make sure you have your players in. And I want to thank everybody for showing up to the draft. We didn't have too many issues. I know there was a couple of disconnects during the middle of it, but overall we call it a huge success. And yeah, let's get on with this gameplay. This is Michael Calavetta, now signing off.